One of the very, very, very cool things about this movie is that Reggie Cray and Ron Cray, Reggie's the smart business owner, Ron's the crazy guy. They are both played by Tom Hardy. He plays both characters in this movie, Legend, and they're that's a feat. So it's pretty good when you know that, and I guess that's why this movie is more about the character development and actually running the drugs, but showing those two personalities in the same person, mostly just wearing glasses and looking kind of stiff face versus kind of more relaxed smiley face. That's really good. What do you think about all that? I wanted to do a movie review of Legend. I, if you watch TikTok or YouTube shorts, you always see a lot of these shorts they make from movies, and you're like, what movie is that? Well, it's got the one where, they're two brothers from Legend, and the guy's dancing, have a good time, and he's like, what? And the other guy's sitting on the couch, and it says he's the boss. Well, these guys were twins, and as far as I can tell, this is based on a true story. They were gangsters. One of the brothers, he owned a nightclub, and he was doing all kind of stuff, making money, illegally. And then his brother was kind of a psychopath. So he loved his brother, and he met a girl, and the one that owned the nightclub, is spoiler alert, he was always going to jail for something, but he was getting off on a technicality, or then he thought he was going to go to jail for a long time. And then his other brother they had like a parties, and they were doing all kind of bad stuff, and they had pictures of famous people. So anytime they get in trouble, they just say, hey, you remember when you was here at this party? So they were about untouchable. Nobody would mess with them. They had a free reign to do pretty much what they wanted. They were criminals, and he was the main one. He was running everything, and he got married, and his wife was having a hard time coping. She didn't really sign up to be a gangster's wife where, he's working long hours. They're in a noisy apartment. She's there by herself. So she's having to take pills in order to survive, just to get through day-to-day life. And it gets worse. And, finally they break up, and, he hits her, and so she leaves him, but he wants her back. So he ends up going to her apartment and says, hey, I want you back, and I'll go anywhere, trying to buy her back and like a possession. Well, she takes a bunch of pills and gets out where she don't wake up anymore. And he has to deal with the realization that she's gone. But his brother, they were supposed to provide protection, and a guy was trying to move in on one of their customers. So he come complaining to the crazy brother, and he said, you supposed to provide me protection. You say I ain't doing your job? So the crazy brother goes and just, in front of everybody, just shoots the guy in the head. The guy pays him like 2,000 pounds. It's in England. And they did it in front of witnesses. So they tried to get him out of it, and talked to all the witnesses and got him to lie and say he didn't do it. So they couldn't acquit him. So, he was innocent because nobody would prove he was guilty. The lady, she stood right in front of him and just looked and said, I don't know who it is. Somebody take me home. It's scared to death, because they threatened their children, and they thought they would do it because they just took them out, and they were having contracts over in America. They were doing all kind of gangster stuff, but this movie's it's more about their life and how they dealt with each other and handling personal situations. Like him and his brother, the two brothers got in a fight. He beat him up real bad, and then so that they were being looked at, but they were kind of untouchable. But then after the main brother that had the sense, he they wanted the crazy brother sent the guy to kill like one of the police chiefs. And then the other brother said, "Hey, what have you done?" And he confronted him, and he killed him in front of everybody at a party. So they come and arrested him, and at the end of the movie, he went to jail, and he got out like 2 weeks before he died from cancer. And the other one went back into the mental institution. So these two brothers were gangsters and twin brothers, and they ended up both going to jail before it was over with. But yeah, it was okay. It was about a 6.7. It's slow, and beside Arthur and the other guy that had the beard in the Peaky Blinders, a lot of the areas in East London in the movie Legend, a lot of that area is the same areas they used in Peaky Blinders to film a lot of the Peaky Blinder series. So I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. It looks very familiar, and that's because it is. They used some of the same sets. So I thought that was awesome. The guys' accents are real strong. Like the one that played the crazy brother played the guy that owned probably the alcohol house in the Peaky Blinders, the one with the beard, and he talks the same way with it. Deep upset, what are you doing, boy? Talks like that. And they even had Arthur. Arthur was clean shaven from Peaky Blinders. He played like a henchman, but kind of a small character compared to Peaky Blinders. This movie was 2015, so it's worth a watch, just to see the old characters, how they're handling everything. But it's a little slow. It's more about the character development instead of the actual mobster stuff. The mobster stuff's there, but it's pretty much about the love of, the two brothers. They love each other so much, and they're trying to do the business and respect each other, and then trying to run the mob, and also trying to have a wife, but you can't have everything. So I just wanted to review that, and thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll talk at you later.